Texas. Texas threw the ball all over the gym. Abilene took it from them. It looks as if the Longhorns saved themselves to Andrew Jones. Under 10 seconds to play, Phyllis. Foul called on the rebound. What do you think?
It was a foul, but it wasn't a foul that had been called all game long. The referees allowed it to be extraordinarily physical, but it was a foul. It just wasn't called earlier.
I'm going to tell you, Joe Pleasant stepped in that key early. Coach is still milling around. Usually you hear, don't go in there too soon. And he rips both of them. Abilene Christian wins it 53-52. The 14th seed getting the victory. And the fans back home. This is what it's going to be like in chapel tomorrow morning. Oh, the fount of every blessing, fill my heart to sing thy praise. They're all going to chapel, and they are celebrating as Abilene Christian, the Wildcats, knock off Texas, and another heartbreaking, gut-wrenching tournament loss for Shaka Smart at Texas, and jubilation for Abilene Christian.
Man, we beat the University of Texas. You know, little old Abilene Christian out in West Texas built a program that went toe-to-toe with the University of Texas, and you know, it's an incredible story. Somebody's going to write about it one day, man. We were the worst Division I team in the country, and now we just beat the University of Texas.
14 seed Abilene Christian on Monday at 5:15 Eastern. And
In 1985, we have 9 double-digit seeds going to the round of 32. Now, look, granted, a lot of them are from power conferences, but there are also the Ohio's that are in this mix. The Abilene Christians. When you look at them, what is there a common thread to any of it, Jake? Do you see anything that you can pull together that's a reason for it?
Not really. I mean, all of them play differently. Look, if you're going to have like a 13, 14, or 15 win, it has to be a couple of things. The lower seeded team has to play really well, and then the higher seeded team, the quote-unquote better team, has to help them a little bit. And that's what happened with Abilene Christian and Texas. It happened with Oral Roberts and Ohio State. Abilene Christian forced 23 turnovers, and they also got 18 offensive rebounds. They had 27 more shots than Texas. Now, they forced Texas into those turnovers, but I don't think any reasonable basketball person would say in a 7-game series they take Abilene Christian. But you pointed it out, Reese, like there's a difference in these upsets. You got 9 double-digit seeds, but 5 of them are Power 5 teams. Those don't count. Those aren't upsets. A middling team out of those conferences, those teams can play with anybody and have proven that. They played tougher schedules. The real upsets and the ones that I think most people want to celebrate are the Abilene Christians and the Oral Roberts. That's why it's going to be most fun to watch those teams move on and get another shot at the big guy, because they don't get many shots during the regular season.
I think that's really, really important. Play a style of basketball that's just different. You think about Abilene Christian. You can't simulate what Abilene Christian does defensively in your practice in a quick turnaround if University of Texas.
Called it the art of the upset. Texas had plenty of time to prepare, and they played teams that press before and that get up into them and all that stuff. But they turned it over 23 times. They gave up 18 offensive rebounds, and they gave up 27 more shot attempts to Abilene Christian. I mean, that's not an art thing. That's a getting your butt kicked thing. And so maybe they got fouled at the end, but they did not do what it takes to win in that game. They put themselves in that position.
Jay, I agree they had more time, but you can't simulate that style of play. The way Abilene Christian plays.
Yes,
right?
you can.
And the pace that they play it, and doubling and scrambling and rotating, and the manner in which they get up underneath the basketball, you can't simulate that. You
commits it late last night. One of the big shockers of the tournament so far on the men's side, the mighty University of Texas knocked off by 14th seeded Abilene Christian in a wild finish in Indianapolis. Shaka Smart's guys were in a dogfight all night long. They came up big in the final minutes. Matt Coleman finding Andrew Jones for the go-ahead three-pointer with just 13 seconds left. But on the final shot, they fouled Joe Pleasant on his putback attempt. And Pleasant, who's just a 58% free throw shooter, needs 1 to tie, 2 to win, calmly sinks the 2 biggest free throws of his life. And not only that, he then steals the Horns' last-second desperation pass. And David slays Goliath. ACU shocking Texas 53-52.
And we just beat the University of Texas. You know, little old Abilene Christian out in West Texas built a program that went toe-to-toe with the University of Texas. And, you know, it's an incredible story. We needed March Madness, man. We needed some type of normalcy to our country. We needed people to fill out brackets. We needed people to cheer for the underdog. It's what March is about, man. It's magical.
Yeah, Joe Golding's going to get a raise, huh? So Abilene Christian joins Loyola as the upset kings of the week.
And what I really love when you talk about Abilene Christian, when the Davids in the state beat the Goliaths in the state, that's just an outstanding thing. And Abilene Christian, this is a program that went D1 8 years ago or something. They already have a tournament win.
Think about how big an upset would be like if UTSA beat University of Texas. But Abilene Christian, I don't know what their enrollment is, but it's probably like 3,000 or 4,000. Yeah.
It's 5,000. Texas has, what, 70,000 students?
Yeah.
And Coach Golding out there does an absolutely great job. And I would love to see if, I don't know, I don't want to go there, but could Texas give him a look at some point in the near future?
I don't know, but you think about these coaches like Joe Golding at Abilene Christian, they're going to get people knocking on their door. Because when you take a team to the Sweet 16 or make an upset like that, and this was just a fantastic, they guarded all night long. Texas came back, and to their credit, knocked down that shot to take the lead. But I was watching this kid in the timeout before the two free throws, and I wasn't sure that he had the look of confidence. He's a 58% free throw shooter, Joe Pleasant. He stepped up there and just made it. And then these are the moments the coaches, why the joy of a school like Abilene Christian, it was unbelievable.
You know, little old Abilene Christian out in West Texas beat the University of Texas.